So the question that you guys are the most relentless about here on this channel, when are you going to put the rest of the siding up? Are you going to put bats on? What are you doing? You're going to have snow everywhere. And every time I do a video that's not putting those boards on, I get those comments, and that's okay. You guys, I'm not complaining, but I always answer the comments the same way. I get to things as I can get to them. I do what I can when I can do them. Now, it's when you guys see a video, a lot of times it is pretty much my day snipped together in just a few minute clips, and it never really shows everything else that's going on. But so usually there's so much stuff going on, I just try to hit the little things that I know I can kind of get done a little bit and get them out of my hair. It doesn't always, it's not always the best time management. I mean, something like bats, it's easy enough to put them on quick. But as I've said before in a lot of videos, these bats, I'm only putting these on to break the wind this winter and keep the snow out. I'm going to be chipping away at them throughout the fall. I don't really care what width they are. I have a bunch of reclaimed 1x10s, a bunch of reclaimed 1x8s. I'll make the bats 4 to 5 inches wide because that's not going to be the final layer of siding. Remember, we're going with the, we're actually going to go with a regular siding over this barn. I have not decided yet. It's probably going to be more of a clapboard style, or even just wide boards run horizontally instead of vertically. I think that sheds rain much better. I do not like bats on a building. I've never liked them. I've seen it done a lot of ways. The only way I've seen it done where it really works well is when the boards are super wide. I'm just not a big fan of vertical siding. I never have been. I've built a lot with them. I put a lot of siding on board and batten over the years. Done it every which way, you know, you go and you look up, you know, how other people are doing it. And I can tell you, I think I've done it about every way that it's been suggested over the years. It's never kept water out the way that I'd like to see it. I still see it weep in a little bit. Like I said, the only time, if your bats are like 6 inches or better and the boards are really nice and flat and you get everything really nice and tight, it's not too bad. Standard practice is only nailing or screwing one edge of your siding board and then going in the middle of the bat. That way you always have room for that to move. Some people, they don't even put screws in the wide boards. They only do one in the middle of these bats. I'm going to end up screwing these on both sides. For one, they're going to be covered up, and secondly, I have so much distance in between my girts on this thing. I'd only have a screw every 3-4 feet, and that's not going to be enough to keep these from moving, bowing out, and letting water in. So like I said, I'm basically just trying to get it through until I can buy the siding for the entire barn. I really don't want to do it until I can get it all at once. So a building this size, it's going to be a couple grand for what I want to do. So that's going to be a little while before we can get into that. If you guys haven't noticed, I do a lot of things. Everything depends on money, just like with the rest of you. You know, you do what you can when you can, and you hope for the best. You know, that was a lot of hold up with this building to begin with, and you know, waiting for materials, waiting to a point where I could buy this or buy that. So that was one reason. If I'd had everything on site when I went to do this timber frame, I probably could have been done with it twice as fast. But there was times where there was just months in between. Just months in between when I was waiting to be able to get stuff. And that's a progress killer when you get to that point. It just really sucks, and it's a shitty feeling because you just want to get after it. You want to get stuff done. And you're always relying on that almighty dollar to do it for you. Where the hell's that other screw? I know you're in here. Oh, come on. I'll find it. So, this building we're tearing down, and it's pretty well down now, kind of was a big blessing. It allowed me to get a lot more materials really fast and for free. I mean, pretty much just the price of going and picking it up and hauling it home. And it's only about 5-6 miles away. Where are you at? I know you got one more. Oh, come on. Don't you love that when you can't find the screw? Right there you are. But, so anyway, that was a lot of the reason for a lot of stuff. I mean, the obvious delays, any building project you're going to have, there's always something. So what we're going to do, whenever I can, I'm just going to cut a few bats at a time, get what I can get cut for an evening, throw it up. I should just, the smart thing for me to do would be just to sit here and cut them all at once. But I don't work that way. I never have. It's not the most efficient way to work, but it's the way that I work. So, and that's her. But anyway, I have found a quick way of doing this. Is just get yourself a fence set up for your circular saw. Find out where your center line is. Measure off the blade, line it up, put a fence, and you can rip these out quicker than you can on a table saw. Plus these pieces are so long, it'd just be a real pain to do it on the table saw. But we have enough here. I think we have 16 here. So that'll be enough to cover this short section on the back wall. We're gonna hit that right now. I'm gonna get you guys in the time lapse. Gonna watch me do something tonight. I'll get you guys in the time lapse and we'll just go from there. So I'll see you. Well, I guess now we got a little bit of weatherproofing on this back wall at least. I guess it's time to put up some redneck bling, huh? No, why not? Why not? Somewhere in there. Almost makes it look complete. Almost. Gotta have my coffee. I know it's late, but I just have to have my coffee. Well, there's something on the back of this thing. So now I know it's not how most people put board and batten siding on. I explained earlier how most people do it, and like I said, I love the way it looks. Absolutely love the way it looks. I think it's a really nice design. The only thing, the only thing I don't really care for is, at least around here, the driving winds and rains we get, and not to mention the snow. Doesn't hold it all out. It does a decent job, but it just doesn't hold it all out. So also, as far as cutting them with a setup like what I did earlier, made a fence for the circular saw, and it's really fast. If you have boards that are pretty much all the same width, you can do one or two at a time, but you can just rip them off really, really fast. I'll probably switch to doing one at a time, just because I'm finding I'm doing 2 passes anyway with that little circular saw. Just because 2-inch rip for that length, 2 boards together, it doesn't seem to like it very much. So what I'm finding myself doing is cutting the top one, then going back through and cutting the bottom one. I think we're just going to do one at a time. That'll make it a lot easier. But anyway, that's her tonight. I mean, didn't do a lot of explaining just because it's pretty self-explanatory. So hopefully we will get a lot more of those on before snow hits. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna have this pretty well buttoned up, at least as far as I need to go for winter, the back doors and stuff like that. And that's, believe me, I know winter's coming. Nobody knows winter's coming more than I do. It's just there's a million other things that really need to be done also. So this whole deal here, organizing this part of the building a little bit, needed to be done because these tools are just scattered all over the place. And that's something I could do 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, run the camera a little bit, go back in, put flooring down in the house, stuff like that. So it's just for us around here, it's just a big time juggling thing. I've got a lot of hay bales left to move and stuff like that. It's just, every year it seems that winter catches me a little more off guard. And like I said a few videos ago, sooner or later here something's going to have to give. And I've pretty well made my mind up as to what will give, but it's going to be a while. I'm not gonna back out of anything I'm doing quite yet, but we're just going to slowly scale back on some things. Like I said, nothing to do with the channel or anything like that. Just some things we will be. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.